like we're only missing Bob right now.
I think so. And we are live on YouTube.
Okay, well, 7 o'clock, so let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. This meeting is being held electronically in compliance with the Open Meetings Act of Isabella County. Currently operating under a local state of emergency as adopted by Resolution 20-12-3 by the Isabella County Board of Commissioners. So if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So there are people have the ability to listen by phone. If anybody at the public hearing section, if you're listening by phone, there is provisions to hit, I believe, star 9 on your phone, and your hand will be raised and you can make comments at that time. We're going to do roll call votes for the special use permits, site plans, and that kind of thing. And then just voice votes for most of the other stuff. So we do need a roll call for, we need a roll call vote for roll call. So if you would, when Kim calls your name, state where you're at and here, please.
Commissioner Brookins.
Here, Rollin Township.
Commissioner Silker.
Here, Gilmore Township.
Commissioner Camp.
Here, Vernon Township.
Commissioner Slaney.
Here, I'm in Clare, Michigan right now.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Here, Mount Pleasant.
Commissioner Bean.
Here, Vernon Township.
Commissioner Vogel.
Present, Denver Township.
Commissioner Nyer.
Here, Isabella Township.
And Commissioner Campbell. Not present.
Yep, not present tonight.
Okay. We have an agenda. Any changes or additions to the agenda?
None at this time.
Okay, so I'd entertain a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
Nyer, so moved.
Second, Slaney.
Silker, second.
Okay. Having that, all in favor of the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Minutes from the last meeting. If you read them over, and there again, anybody has a motion or in a second? Or speak up if there's any changes need to be made.
I move to approve the minutes of the meeting of October 14th, 2021.
Second, Nyer.
Okay. A motion and a second. All in favor of the accepting the minutes, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, the same? Okay. Liaison reports, ZBA, Phil?
ZBA did have a meeting yesterday and we approved for it, I guess I'll say it that way. It was a building on a private road and it did pass. That was it.
Okay. Parks and Rec, Tim?
Parks and Rec did not meet this month.
Okay. Board of Commissioners, Steve?
Board of Commissioners met on Tuesday. We approved to the purchase of the land just south of Moy Court for the sheriff's office and jail. And also we heard back from the road commission that they could maintain the roundabout in front there with no problem. Didn't need any additional work. Also, there's one more thing I was going to say, and I can't remember. Sorry, I lost it.
Okay. Well, moving along, township concerns, we're going to move those up to the public comment section, which is where we're at right now. So this is a time for public comment not related to the issues coming before the board later on. So is there any township folks that have some comments or some public comment that are out there? If you're listening on your phone, now is the time to raise your hand.
Chairman Bean, really
Yes.
quick while we're waiting to see if somebody raises their hand. Jackie Curtis from Denver Township sent a email to us. She will not be watching tonight because they do have a township board meeting tonight. So she'll be at her own township board meeting tonight, but did advise that everything seems to be going well in Denver Township with no concerns.
Good to know.
And Mr. Chairman, there is no public on a call in the meeting with us.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if
Yes.
you don't have any public comment, I do remember I was going to talk
Okay.
about the Zoom meetings going forward to the new year.
Okay.
The commissioners did talk about whether we were going to renew the emergency notice, and it sounds like that won't be the case into the new year. So in January, we would have to meet in person if that doesn't happen.
All right. Well,
It'd have
Good
to
to
be
know.
the last meeting in December.
good. Appreciate that update, Steve. Maybe we're going to get back to normal here at some point, huh?
Oh, so possibly.
Yeah. So. Okay. No, let's close the public comment period now. And moving on to the public hearing section, zoning amendment 21-01. Tim?
Yeah, so this case in front of you today is ZA number 2101 is a map amendment. Cole Stadler of Walgast Corporation is the applicant for the property owners of I think it's Virginia and Jesse Wood and Virginia Michael, I believe it is. We're in Sherman Township, section 13. It's in the 6,100 block of West Wademan Road. Mr. Stadler had, on behalf of Wolgas Corporation, has applied to rezone a parcel, which is 2.43 acres in size in section 13 of the township. And he's looking to rezone that from low density residential R1 to general commercial C1. Included in your application is a short narrative that he provided with the application, which discusses the justification for rezoning. Included is a copy of the deed and the property legal description and such. The narrative appears to address the Planning Commission's review criteria found in section 1508C, specifically 1508C2, which deals with map amendments. Staff has reviewed the current zoning district surrounding the parcel to be rezoned, and I'll share my screen in a moment with you to show you both the land use and the zoning for the area. One of the things that we'd like to point out is that in the master plan, one of the goals of the master plan are to encourage commercial development, which are adjacent to existing commercial development along paved major roads near concentrations of residential development. Staff would note that if you're looking at the site plan that they sort of included showing the parcel or showing that kind of platted area, you will see a right-of-way running through it. It's an old alley right-of-way, which has been abandoned appropriately through the road commission in the township and is not of any concern. Again, staff included in our report for you, our staff report, section 1508C2, which deals with the criteria for review. Again, with the rezoning request, remember this is a public hearing. One, two, it's a recommendation by the Planning Commission, one way or the other, to the County Board of Commissioners, and the County Board of Commissioners ultimately makes the decision. There is no specific use at this time. There is no specific site plan review at this time. If it were to be approved by the Planning Commission or recommended by the Planning Commission to the County Board of Commissioners, the County Board, after that meeting of the County Board of Commissioners and after it's fully adopted, the applicant would need to come back to us with a site plan for a specific use to address all the other criteria of the ordinance. With regard to the map amendment, you need to determine whether the map amendment is consistent with the goals and policies of the future land use map. We read for you, I just read for you one of them from our master plan, which was included in your staff report, and that was its proximity to other commercial uses, its location along major private roads, major public roads, paved public roads and such. Two, you're to determine the proposed district allows for compatibility. Are the uses that it would be surrounding compatible with it? And are all the uses able to be accommodated? Are we not rezoning something to something that can't happen there? And then any other factors the Planning Commission would like to review. So staff has provided a summary. The proposed rezoning request appears to be consistent with the county's master plan and land use map. It is adjacent with existing commercial development, and the site may be suitable to accommodate the uses allowed, being its proximity of 2.43 acres. So in the end of our staff report, you have a couple sample motions. I'm going to go ahead at this time and share my screen really quickly and kind of show you that area. Everybody see that?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
so this area in here, this is the parcel right here that we're talking about rezoning. This is the county's future land use map. It's the vacant parcel. All of this pinkish kind of colored area is in the future land use map is identified as general commercial. So it does allow for commercial activities in this area. This parcel here is the gas station on the corner of North Woodruff Road and the jog on West Wademan Road as you get into Wademan here. Over on the other end over here is School Road. This parcel here has commercial activity on it. This is the one we're looking to rezone as commercial. These three parcels in here also have commercial activity on them. Adjacent across the street, we have the fire department, Nottawa Sherman Fire Department. These two parcels on the end on the south side of the street are Yonkers Marine, and just a few years back, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, we approved a storage unit out on this parcel over here. So this predominantly, is looked at as a commercial area or trying to move to commercial area under future land use. I'm going to turn on the zoning for the area. So the current zoning in the area, again, this teal blue color here is our commercial. This is what we're looking to rezone this parcel that's outlined in red in. This area here going up North Woodruff through Wademan is all commercial. There's a diner. This is the diner, I believe, right here, and a couple other commercial uses adjacent to it right in here. And again, we have these industrial type uses on the end. We do have some larger lot residential, but we do have what the master plan calls for is that low density residential in and adjacent to areas where we want to see commercial and have commercial activity. So this parcel here, in staff's opinion, meets the criteria of the master plan very directly in section 1508C2. Anybody have any questions before I unshare my screen?
Nope, I don't. Anybody
No.
else?
Okay, I'll go ahead and unshare my screen then, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thanks for that, Tim. Is there anybody from the Wolgast group that would like to add any comments?
I think Tim covered everything very well. I think I'm all set.
Thank you. All right, now it's time to open the public comment part of this. If there's anybody listening, you can hit, I forget what this is.
*9 again to raise their hand.
Okay, *9 to raise your hand and Ray will let you in. So are there anybody that has public comments? Now is the time to raise your hand or speak up.
While Ray is looking at that again, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just note that Mr. Richard Schmidt, he's a representative of Sherman Township. He was in our office, I believe, earlier this week, maybe it was Monday of this week. Had a little bit of conversation with Ray about this activity. He was going back. The township had a meeting this week. He said that he would move any concerns they may have back onto us. We did not hear back from him, so we sort of assumed they didn't have any issues with it. And additionally, we had no written correspondence with regard to this request at all.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chairman, at this point in time, there's no other public on the call with us.
Okay. All right. Hearing no public comment, we'll close the public comment section of this meeting. So at this point, would entertain a motion and a second regarding this issue.
Camp will move to recommend approval to the County Board of Commissioners for the map amendment 2101 ZA number 21-01 to rezone the piece of property from the low density residential R1 district to the general commercial C1 district without addition.
Second, O'Neill.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, any concerns that or questions that any commissioners have regarding this?
There will be Vogel.
Yeah.
There will be no need for any screening or anything, correct?
Well, there may be need for screening, but that would be something that would be handled at the site plan review time if this gets through.
Okay,
It's a rezoning process.
In your first screen share, Tim, you had that whole area had like a pink tone to it. You
Mhm.
said that was kind of a commercial corridor or commercial something, but yet
General commercial, yep.
general commercial. So is general commercial, is that it wasn't zoning, is general commercial just a kind of on how is that related to the actual zoning map that you went and looked at later?
So that was the future land use map under the future land use plan. So in the future land use plan, that area is designated as this kind of grouping or this generalized area of general commercial. So that's what we ultimately want that area, I think, in time to move itself to. And I think we've seen that happen with the Yunkers, with the, other places going in and around there.
Okay.
Sort of kind of carrying the Woodruff commercial district along and around onto Wademan Road and out towards school.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, Kim, could you do a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Silker,
Approve.
Commissioner Brookins,
Approve.
Commissioner Nyer,
I approve.
Commissioner Vogel,
I approve.
Commissioner Bean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Camp,
Yes.
and Commissioner Slaney.
Yes. Did you hear me? Sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
7 yes, motion carries.
Okay. Good deal.
Couldn't hear myself.
Okay.
Should be, hold on one second. Kim, did you get
Yes.
7 yes or 8 yes? Did we get everybody? Should be 8.
8, I'm sorry, there is 8.
So I'll go ahead and prepare that and get it moved on with the recommendation of the County Board of Commissioners.
Okay. So moving on to the next, this is not a public hearing, but site plan review number 2115.
Yeah, Ray is going to go ahead and handle this one. Cole, again, thank you very much. You're all set for tonight. Ray will get a hold of you in a day or so.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Ray's going to go ahead and handle this site plan review.
Yeah, this site plan review is site plan review number 21-15, submitted by Mr. Jason Dawes from Bandit Industries. Bandit Industries is down in Broomfield Township, section 36. The address of the property is 6750 West Millbrook Road. The applicant has submitted a site plan review for a building addition of 150 by 120 feet. It's a light manufacturing building. Down there on the south corner of Broomfield Township in section 36. It's on the corner of South Coldwater Road and West Millbrook Road in the light industrial district. As I said, this site plan review included a site plan description of the use of the current building and a description of the use of the proposed building. They do indicate that this building is used for manufacturing, as I said, and that this addition will just continue that manufacturing purpose. Bandit Industries is a bit unique. It's about a 94-acre complex. This parcel is about 17 acres, and it is split by the Woodruff Lake Airport. The entire property of Bandit Industries is split by the Woodruff Lake Airport. This parcel that the proposed building would be going on is on the north side of the Woodruff Lake Airport. Staff has reviewed the site plan and the proposed building addition. It is meeting all of its setback and height requirements for the district. It is well beyond the 150-foot zoning ordinance requirement to low-density residential, which is to the east around Woodruff Lake. And I would note that parking at the facility is well beyond the requirements in the ordinance. Given also that this building addition is in proximity to the airport, as we've seen in the past with other tall structures or structures in proximity to the airport, they were required to file notice with the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and they have received, and we do have copies of the determination of no hazard to air navigation. And so they've given us a copy of that as well. Excuse me. As we always do, we've submitted the standards for site plan review, section 11.06 for the Planning Commission. And just in summary, again, staff has fully reviewed the site plan. It does appear to meet all ordinance requirements, and we've provided you with the checklist of ordinance requirements, as we always do for your review. At the end of the staff report, as we do, there's sample motions for you to approve or deny the site plan review. And really, that's all that staff has. The FAA determination of no hazard, the proximity of the building. It is an interior addition on this building, and staff doesn't see any concerns in terms of screening or any other ordinance requirements for this building addition. So that's all I have on this staff report, unless anybody has questions for me.
Again, just a reminder, this is not a public hearing. This is just a planning commission approval.
Okay. Mr. Dawes, do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
No, I think Mr. Johnson covered it pretty well.
Okay, good. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for either Mr. Dawes or Ray regarding this? All right, hearing none, looking for a motion and a second.
Move to approve site plan review 21-15 as submitted by Jason Dawes on behalf of Bandit Industries. The approval is based upon the following finding of fact. Oh, there's none.
I would second that.
Okay, so a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. Kim, if you could do a roll call vote again, please.
Commissioner Vogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Bean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Camp,
Yes.
Commissioner Slaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Silker,
Yes.
Commissioner Brookins,
Yes.
and Commissioner Nyer.
Yes.
8 yes, motion carries.
Okay. Guess that one's all good to go.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jason. I'll reach out to you tomorrow or Monday.
Okay, sounds good. Good evening.
Okay. Okay, we've got two farmland agreements, two PA 116 agreements, Robert Peterson Trust and a Deerfield Farms LLC to chew through.
Yeah, I'll jump into the Robert J. Peterson. I believe that's first on the agenda. It's in Rollin Township. It's an 80-acre parcel in section 33 of the township. The application appears was submitted by Mr. Peterson and appears to be complete. It is currently zoned agricultural buffer and planned for agricultural rural residential. It's currently being used for ag purposes. There are other adjacent PA 116s in the area. Staff sees no concerns with this. If there's no concern of the Planning Commission, we'll just go ahead and forward this back off to the clerk and let them know that we've done our review.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
All right. Then the next one that we had is farmland agreement for Deerfield Farms LLC in Deerfield Township. This one was submitted by Mark McDonald on behalf of Deerfield Farm LLC. This is in section 15 of Deerfield Township, and it's just over a 68-acre parcel currently being used for agricultural purposes. It's got a 10-year application period and appears to be complete. And the property is currently being used for agricultural purposes and is in the agricultural zone for Deerfield Township. So staff again would have no problems with this. And if there's no questions or comments from the Planning Commission, we'll go ahead and forward this back off to the clerk.
All right.
Great.
Don't think there's any comments.
We'll go ahead and forward back off to the clerks both of these farmland agreements as per the legislative criteria. Thank you.
Okay, brings us up to item 11, staff comments.
You got public comment there first, Kelly.
Yep, you're right. Public comment section. If there's anybody out there that's listening that wants to speak, now is a good time to dial *9 on your phone and Ray will let you in.
And again, Mr. Chairman, we don't have anyone in the meeting with us.
Okay. All right, we'll close that section. Now, staff comments.
The only comment that staff would have is today was the deadline for applications for our December meeting. And we did receive no action items for our December meeting. We currently have nothing. So if the board is okay with it, we'll just go ahead and celebrate an early Christmas with the cancellation of our December meeting.
For me, I don't think we need a vote for that.
No.
and therefore, if Mr. Swaney, as he indicated earlier, if we come back in January and we're running back in normal in the building, this may be our very last Zoom meeting. So we'll go ahead and get the cancellation done for our December meeting then, and we'll keep you all posted on what's going to happen there in January.
So just on a side note, is if somebody's out of town, do they still zoom in for the meeting, or is there a hybrid, or is it going to be all in public?
Well, I don't think that the legislature's yet determined. I think the requirement in the Open Meetings Act doesn't run up until the end of the year. And so I believe the legislature was, battling with, do they make some modifications to the Open Meetings Act in general to allow those types of things? At this time, it's not there. If the order goes away, we would be meeting directly in person, just like we used to meet. My guess is the legislature, I think, has kind of learned something over the last couple of years, that the opportunity to have a hybrid type of activity going is probably the right thing. So my guess is if they don't happen in January, it's going to come shortly thereafter at some point where we're going to have some sort of a hybrid option within the Open Meetings Act. But that's up to the Michigan legislature. So we'll see.
I was just getting the hang of these things. I signed on twice by myself.
Okay,
Again, staff's last comment would be stay healthy, wash your hands, do your due diligence. Like I said, I had COVID that I battled for a few weeks there. There's others here in the building that I know are going on. I have 2 people currently quarantined from my office. We're still kind of, battling through just what we've got and what's happening and who's getting it and who's out and who's working and who's in, kind of a thing. So just stay healthy regardless of which direction we go.
Tim, do you mind if I ask what your symptoms were?
Yeah, I was severely fatigued, headaches, like I had headaches when I was a young kid that used to make me cry. Put me to tears. And I was hyperglycemic, I had to change a diet, kind of a thing. These headaches were 10 times worse than that. And for me, it was very scheduled. I could wake up in the morning feeling fine. By 2:00 in the afternoon, I was completely wiped of energy. My nights for the first about 4 or 5 nights, I didn't sleep the first 3 nights because my fever was so high and I just laid in bed and shook all night long without sleeping. I wasn't nauseous. I had no breathing. Then I got a little congested once I started getting better. And then I had some congestion and a cough, kind of a thing going on as it sort of tailed away. And I'm still not fatigue wise, I'm all the way back. I've had a couple of headaches in the last week, I think 2 of them now. So slowly it's just kind of worked its way out of me. But this is like week 4. So I had 3 weeks that I was out basically working from home, doing nothing. In the first 7 or 8 days, I could do nothing. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was, and it's hitting all kinds of people. I know somebody else, who it's hitting a different way. My wife had it. She's a teacher. She was like 2 days congested and that was it. And she was on, but she's probably, she's a walking petri dish around all these 25 little kids she's been around for 20 years. And then my son, who I'm vaccinated as well, completely vaccinated. My wife is as well. My son is not vaccinated. And he got it and he had symptoms similar to mine, but shorter. He was only like about a week and then he was starting to feel better. So it just hit all of us differently. So just stay diligent.
yeah. Yep.
I had my booster 2 weeks ago with my flu shot at the same time, and I didn't have any symptoms at all from my booster or my flu.
Yeah, I got my booster this past Friday. I had my flu shot on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, I got fatigue and a little low-grade fever and a touch of a headache, but it was just Saturday. Sunday, I was back to feeling good and kind of moving on. So, but my wife was completely vaccinated with her booster, and she still ended up contracting. So,
All
I guess
right.
enough said there.
Yes. Glad you're better.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure. Planning Commissioner comments. Adam Brookins, any comments?
For the township, no, but I do have a question. Will we have to be vaccinated or proof of vaccination if we meet in person?
I don't think any of the detail. I doubt it, but I don't think any of the details. The first I've heard of it was from Commissioner Swaney here tonight, so it hasn't even kind of worked its way through the board and down through the ranks here inside the building yet. So I would doubt vaccinated. I would guess we're probably still going to be masking, but I don't know that.
Thank you.
Our discussion was whether or not we'd be putting it on the December to renew it.
So discussion of renewal of the executive order.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. Phil, any comments?
Nothing whatsoever.
Okay. Ann?
No, not tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Steve, any more comments?
No more comments.
Okay. Tim?
Just to say how pleased I am that Mr. Newport is recovering.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good. Kyle?
No comments, thanks.
All right. Jerry?
Oh, happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.
All right. And
Thank
That's
you.
right.
I don't have any comments either. So at this point, looks like our work here is done. So the meeting is adjourned until January, and hopefully we'll meet in person.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
All
We'll
right.
keep you posted.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you.